My name is Lily Zandel, and I'm the manager of Street Art Toronto, which is part of the public realm section of transportation services at the city. Graffiti has sort of been seen as a bit of a subversive form of art. But as it's become sort of more popular and more recognized, it's sort of transformed itself to street art. And the way the city decides what's graffiti vandalism and what's graffiti art is simply permission. We realized that graffiti vandalism and tagging was becoming a real problem for the city, and particularly for building owners, businesses. We realized that and recognized it, and so that's really what propelled the program. Although it's no magic silver bullet, it has decreased the amount of graffiti vandalism. The way we see street art as a way to enliven neighborhoods. We're actually trying to get people out of their cars, so we prefer doing it in areas that enjoy high visibility and a lot of pedestrian traffic, and in a location that we think the community values. And we think that if Torontonians are really going to get out of their car, then we have to make the streets more beautiful and more interesting. And street art, I think, has a phenomenal ability to not only make a neighborhood more beautiful, but also to show its character and its authenticity. It's not just the final work. What we're really funding is an opportunity for an artist to go into a community. They're required to do a minimum of 2 community consultations and make sure that the community is informed about what's happening and that there's an opportunity for them to give their feedback, to make sure that the diversity of a community is heard and their voices are heard, and that ultimately people are happy with the work that they're going to see every day. The work usually is so embraced by the community because it's a reflection of them.
My name is Walter Rustin, and I paint murals, mostly historical murals that reflect the history of the neighborhood that I'm doing a mural for. Apparently, I was drawing since I could hold a pencil. Might find a certain incident that happened at a certain time, which sort of will catch my attention, and I'll start doing drawings from that. Sunnyside, I did a fair amount of research and came up with what we call a maquette. It's basically a sketch of what it's going to look like on the building. And it was actually a competition. And I also had the flowers and thing in front, so gardens were another thing that they had suggested. But that really piqued my interest, the Sunnyside, because it's a fascinating piece of history of Toronto. It took about a month and a half actual painting, and then probably about another month of doing research and preparation, buying the paints, renting, scaffolding and ladders and things like that. There were people from the old folks' home came by and were talking about how they went there when they were young, so that was kind of interesting. It gave me a sort of a better idea of the atmosphere of what I'm painting. It also brings a sense of history to the neighborhood. And the mural on Garden Street, Garden in Roncesvalles, is a mural of High Park depicting it's around 1920s what High Park looked like then. And it also has pictures of various businesses from that era going along the top of the mural. And so they're all, some of them are still going, but most of them are defunct now. Well, there's graffiti, and then there's graffiti art, and then there's art and commercial art, fine art, all sorts of. But basically, graffiti is just someone They just tag their name really fast over top of, if it's over top of somebody's artwork or just on the side of the building. Whereas there's sort of a style of graffiti that is very lush, full of color, and a fair amount of design and thought put into it. So that sort of elevates it into an art form.
What is that?
We're still recording.
Is it? You recording?
Yeah.
I was how you could flip.